Hello, hello, hello. How are y'all doing? Trickling in eventually, but hello.
What's going on, good people?
Whew, I'm so tired, man. What time did you go to sleep last night?
um, Probably like 4:20ish.
Yeah, I was probably like 4:30, 4:40. It's brutal.
What's
Was
going
8
this
on,
o'clock
Sam?
bedtime
starts.
for you guys?
Yeah, 8 o'clock starts.
Plus overtime. That's
Killer.
that's the killer.
Brutal. I mean, it's brutal for me, and
Can't
I
do it.
didn't even have to do as much as you guys did. I didn't go to bed till like 2.
And
Yeah.
I said to Jack that my plan going in was more to have content ready for the morning and try to get out of there earlier last night. No, we were there. I would say left around 2ish.
I didn't leave the Airbrush Center till 2:40.
Yeah.
So, cooked. Sam's internet already putting in a worldly performance. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back, Sam.
Jealous, Jonathan S.
Oh man. Anyways, Celtics took game one against the Pacers, stole game one in overtime against the Pacers. Jaylen Brown hit the big shot at the end of regulation. Had some big plays down the stretch. Tatum broke his, I guess you can call it a rough clutch time game with some big buckets down the stretch as well. I should say. Jrue Holiday had a huge game of his own. Bobby, what is your top takeaway? Celtics won that game. Pacers lost that game. Celtics stole that game. Like, what are you coming away from that game saying?
I think that what you saw is the difference in experience in the Pacers outside of Halliburton, who's not afraid of the moment. It's not a young team. You're Neesmith too, but you get it. Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam's a champion. Turner's a veteran. So you can go up and down the roster and find guys with plenty of experience. But outside of Siakam, it's not a particularly battle-tested group in the postseason, and definitely not when it comes to them playing together. Whereas this Celtics core has been through so many trials and tribulations, and Holiday hasn't been a part of it with Boston, but he's got a championship run under his belt with the Bucks. And so I think what you saw is a team that wilted down the stretch in Indiana. Talk about Tatum not playing well. The Pacers went quiet offensively and committed 2 turnovers, including one where if they inbound the ball, it might just be enough to get them to the finish line. Doesn't happen. And you could see the look on Siakam's face. And that's the guy who has been through more of these quote unquote wars than anyone else on his team. When Jaylen Brown hits the 3, Siakam looks like someone who is absolutely shell shocked. And sure enough, you come out in overtime and Halliburton's a star. So he hits the first shot of the OT. But I mean, it was all Celtics from there, and Indiana wilted. So I thought experience was the difference maker down the stretch.
This was the ultimate national media gets to hammer the experience button game because it's facts. And Bobby's absolutely right. I think all of the angles that you presented, Jack, all work. Celtics stole this game, yes. Celtics won this game, yes, because they had to make the plays. And the Pacers absolutely vomited all over their shoes. This game was over. I spiked my phone. It all happened. I was angry. And then they gave the Celtics 3 chances to win or tie the game in regulation. Finally, they did it, despite having far better opportunities than the Jalen shot. They managed to tie it and get it to overtime. And, from that point on, Indy, like you mentioned, came out, hit the first shot, but then that was it. They only made one of their next 7. And the Celtics found it, still tried to lose a little bit, but ultimately Tatum had a great stretch, totaled 10 in overtime, had 6 straight to help ice the game. And it's the kind of execution you'd been hoping to see from these guys in the clutch all season in years past. You finally got it in a big spot, and it feels really good. And I was thinking about it today when I was out running. And this game was great because I can't remember the last time there was a situation in a game where I expected them to lose and they actually won. It's either you expect them to win and they take care of business, and I know you have the expectations angle, Jack, and so does Joe Mazzulla, or they completely just either lose, like they lose and it happens and then that's the end of it, or the other team does not let their foot off the gas. Today, I mean, yesterday you got a surprise. It was great. Tons of fun.
I think expectations are fine. It's just not the expectations placed on the Celtics, because the expectations placed on the Celtics is if you lose, you're a disappointment, and that's not really fair because you're going to lose games. You're going to lose basketball games. It's going to happen. And also, to John's point, the Pacers just set the
Pacers
record
are good.
for the highest field goal percentage in a playoff game in NBA history against the Knicks in Game 7. So this is kind of what they do.
There's a few messages I think we should address. So that one, this is a good one because I think the Pacers deserve credit. The Pacers, a lot of people online are talking about like, oh, like Celtics easiest path, whatever. Like Pacers aren't a good team. The Pacers may not be your typical Eastern Conference finalist type team, a team that you think of in that high of a regard, but they don't suck. They've had legitimately good playoff wins throughout this run. Like they've impressed. They've had big moments. Jack and I watched the playback of Game 7. They had the biggest response I've seen maybe from any team in this playoff run, besides Minnesota's comeback in Game 7, probably. They're up $1 billion. The Knicks cut it to 6. Madison Square Garden's going berserk. And then they make more shots, big plays, and they build the lead back up. Something you see the Celtics do all season. It was a great moment from the Pacers.
Went for the pump fake there. That foul's on me, not Sam. When it comes to the comeback, I think that the Knicks, I don't mean to say this like I'm blaming them almost, but it was just so early in the second half, and that stamina bar was so low for them that I don't think they had enough left in the tank to sustain that. So absolutely, credit to the Pacers. Sam's 100% correct. I totally agree. But, you know, they came out, they weren't afraid of the environment they were in or that it was Game 7 on the road. And then they withstood that run and quickly built the lead back up to 18. I also, again, I just think the Knicks were in a state where they weren't going to be able to go from completing that comeback to then holding off the Pacers the rest of the way because of how early it was. But to the point of, you know, what's going on with this Indy team and how well they're playing, the reality is that they were the highest scoring offense in the regular season. They've sustained that through the playoffs, and they have a formula that is exhausting for any opponent to deal with, that it might not always translate to advancing, but it is a handful to deal with when it's just relentlessly pushing the pace. It's staying active even in the half court when guys don't have the ball, and that generates extra opportunities as well. So the way the Pacers play, it's consistently effective. It might not always win. It might not get them out of this round and overcome the talent gap here, but it is something that, as Jaylen Brown put it post-game, it's one thing to watch how they play on film. It's another to actually be the man in the arena and have to combat it. And so it's just absolutely exhausting to play a team that can score at the clip they do and plays at the tempo that they consistently operate at.
Yeah, and John's saying the Knicks were depleted. That's why it suits the 70%. Even if you take 100 open jumpers, like making 70 of them means you're pretty good. Like you can be wide open with nobody in front of you, and making 70 out of 100 shots is great. And so to have any bodies in front of you and still shoot 70%, like I don't care if it's me and Sam in front of you to shoot 70%. Like,
correct.
If Tyrese Halliburton gets up 100 threes with Sam and I in front of them going like this 2 feet away, it's still going to be hard to make 70% of his shots. Like shooting 70% is more than just bad defense. And for what it's worth, I think the Celtics can play better defense than they played in Game 1. A lot better defense, because I think the transition was bad. I thought they didn't respond to the Pacers' pace very well. I thought they didn't close out. I thought the drop defense was bad. There's plenty the Celtics can do better. But that's what the Pacers do at the same time. Like they just shoot really efficiently. That is how they have won games in the playoffs all year. So I think it's a mix of both. And I think, like Jimmy just said, there's definitely luck involved. Absolutely, there was luck involved. But you took, or unless he's saying luck by the Pacers, regardless, like it's good the Celtics won the game because they haven't won clutch games. And in the playoffs, you're gonna need luck at times, right? You're gonna need luck. You're gonna need, the Pacers to do stuff. And if the Pacers mess up, yeah, that can help you. But the Celtics still had to make the shots. They still had to respond to it. Jaylen Brown still had to make that corner three. Jason Tatum, excuse me, still had to get that and one. He still had to make that 3 pull up in overtime. Like Celtics still had to do stuff to respond to the Pacers screw ups, and that's what playoff teams do. Like they sort of hound on other teams' mistakes, and I also think the Celtics forced some of the Pacers' mistakes. Obviously, there was that Tyrese Halliburton dribble off the knee. That was the Pacers' fault, but Jaylen Brown pressured Siakam, made him miss the ball to give him a chance, right? In overtime, Jrue Holiday hounded Tyrese Halliburton, made him turn it over to seal the game. So I think there was a healthy mix of both, and it's good that the Celtics won this game. How was that not a take foul? What was a take foul? Which play is he referencing?
I think if I had to guess, he's talking about the one that could have been a take foul on the Pacers when
Yes.
Tatum was out in front of everyone.
Oh, the Neesmith
Okay.
foul out. When he chased him down for the foul out.
Eh,
Yeah, I think
perhaps.
I don't know. I was going to say they kind of let him play the advantage, but the whole point of the take foul is that you don't get screwed by them actually calling the foul. You benefit from it, and it punishes the other team. But I don't know. It was like a weird spot. It didn't really like hinder Tatum. Like he was still going to get the free
Halliburton
dunk.
playing Tatum's jersey. Now I want to look it up.
I think he's talking about the play that we're talking about because it was Halliburton that was the guy in transition that Tatum ran past.
Okay. Yeah. You're right. We can talk about this too. Jrue Holiday was amazing. That was Jrue Holiday's best game as a Celtic by far. Bucks fans have spent all season saying he can't play in the playoffs, and then he does this. It's nice to see. That said, probably not going to get that every night. So the Celtics do need to figure out how to generate some better offense. But Bobby, thoughts on Jrue Holiday?
So one thing I've wondered, not to skip ahead, but I wonder if now, because he's 34 years old, does Derek White guard Tyrese Halliburton primarily in the next game? Holiday was fantastic. He was face guarding him a lot. And in the second half, I forget the numbers exactly, but basically he quieted him. And then Halliburton went 1 for 3 with a turnover in overtime. So he was excellent against him, played 48 of 53 minutes, which tells you what kind of shape he's in. And then offensively, he really stepped up. This is a guy we've talked about it all year. Lowest usage rate, hasn't let it bother him defensively while he quarterbacks the defense and takes on assignments that have included Joel Embiid and Julius Randle. But this was a game where they needed more punch from him, especially because they didn't get much from their second unit. And Indiana's has been phenomenal in the playoffs and continued that last night. So Jrue Holiday, for him to put 28 points on the board, and clearly every single one of those was needed. That was it. That was his best performance as a Celtic. I think it's probably his best performance in a while, going back beyond this season. I didn't see every single Milwaukee Bucks game last year, but this is definitely one of Jrue Holiday's best playoff games. End of sentence.
Yeah, I love Holiday. That's my guy. I've been on the Holiday train for a while, and the best part of this to me is he's just trending up. Got off to a slow playoff start in the Miami series. Wasn't fantastic. People were starting to whisper, oh, is this the playoff Jrue that people talked about? I think he was pretty brutal in game 2 against Cleveland, if I remember correctly. It was the loss. And, his performance stuck out because, well, they lost. Everyone was like, he needs to be better. Then he's just kind of, ever since, taking a step up, and then explodes for the 28. 8 in the fourth quarter of this game, 4 of 5 from the field. And those were 8 points, obviously, with it going to overtime that they needed every single one of them. And he did a great job of attacking mismatches in the proper way. We talk a lot about mismatch hunting, Jack, and I know it can be a double-edged sword. It's not always good because these guys just think the point of the mismatch is for me to get my best shot. But it feels like Jrue Holiday is the type of player where it's it's the team gets the best shot, whether that's Holiday taking a little lefty hook over the little boy who's guarding him or the defense sending an extra guy and then the ball swings around. I loved what we saw from him in the fourth quarter. I thought his patience was great. And I think going forward, he's somebody they can use to make the Pacers pay for not necessarily having great perimeter defenders, at least in their backcourt. Like Nembhard and Halliburton are both smaller guys. Halliburton's tall, but he's very, very thin. He's not a strong guy by any means.
Yeah. I mean, there's not enough good things to say about Jrue Holiday from that game. He did everything the Celtics needed him to do. He was great the entire night on both ends of the floor. That's why you trade for a guy like him, so he can give you that on offense and on defense. So he deserves a ton of credit. Horford, credit him for staying with it. Celtics have got to find a better defensive plan because the Pacers, you want to talk about, you're not going to shoot 70% even if you're wide open. Well, they did that from the mid-range. Siakam and Nembhard just took turns killing Horford in the mid-range in that fourth quarter, and the Celtics lived with it. And I guess it worked out in the end, but it only worked out in the end because a million other things had to happen. So I really just need the drop defense has got to go. It can't happen. You can do it a little bit, but you got to send help quicker. You've got to give help. Everything else to Horford in the middle of the floor. Why did they switch? I was listening to the King of the Fourth Quarter talk about it, and he's talking about like how willingly the Celtics relinquished switches, and I think that's a part of it too. Like they're just letting Horford like go out to die on some of these plays, and it's frustrating because as good as he is, and he is good, he's just not the same perimeter defender that he used to be, and it's so painfully clear because Siakam was getting free jumpers over him, Nembhard was getting free jumpers over him, Tyrese Halliburton was stepping into wide open threes. Like, really got to change that a little bit. So I think that's got to be the biggest point of emphasis to the Celtics defense.
Well, and so here's the other thing, Jack, and I understand that they probably have to be selective with this because of Horford's age, but in crunch time in game 4 against the Cavaliers, they started having Horford just a couple of times play with an elevated pickup point while still in drop coverage. And it made a huge difference. And they got stops out of that. And I don't understand why they didn't do it more consistently against Indiana down the stretch last night, because quietly they did a great job of protecting the perimeter in the second half. The Pacers shot 4 for 17 from beyond the arc. And all night you could see there were horrendous closeouts, and that's unacceptable, and some late rotations, especially Luke Cornett at the rim had a really rough first half in particular. But at the same time, you could see what the goal was, right? Get them off the three-point line. We'll live what happens inside the arc as long as we don't foul. And there's a time and a place for that as well. So when you're trading buckets with them, or you're not even holding up your end of the bargain, then those twos, those open looks that Siakam's repeatedly making, for example, they become more problematic later and later in the game when you can't really afford them. So to me, I thought there were opportunities to fine-tune the drop coverage at a minimum, if not get away from it altogether. But it's something that the Celtics, they stuck with, and ultimately it didn't end up costing them, but you do wonder about it moving forward.
I mean, it was tough to watch. I was pissed in this game because they weren't getting stops. That was the thing. In Indiana's offense is great, and that's not what this is about. There is clearly an issue with the defensive planning, the scheme. And when you're watching the fourth quarter and the Celtics are trying their best on both ends of the ball, and they're getting buckets, like they go down 4 with 4.5 to play, come out of a timeout, good play, ball swings around. Jack referenced it in the recap. Derek White drills a 3. Then you give up a bucket. Then you come back down, you get another 3. And then you give up another bucket. The stops aren't there. You're finally executing on offense, something that people have complained about all season. Yet because of the defense you're being stubborn about sticking to, you're not able to really capitalize on it. And they got lucky at the end, and they got a billion tries to try and tie the game. But realistically, if they had just tightened things up on that end of the floor, played more controllable defense, then you probably don't even have to go to an overtime. Because to their credit, like they actually played decent offense at the end of the game. It wasn't pretty, but even the misses. Tatum misses that wide open jumper at the top of the key. Down 3, what other shot would you realistically want on this team? As much as I make fun of Tatum not being able to shoot threes, that's a good look. And it's unfortunate he missed it. And then the next possession, Derek White gets one of his floaters, maybe was a little bit too focused on trying to draw a foul. But that was still a good look as well. It wasn't a problem with the shot quality. There was one possession where Hauser took a 3 that was put your head in the microwave stuff. But besides that, they did a pretty decent job of offense in this game. The defense was where it hurt them down the stretch.
I still think they could do a better job of punishing the Pacers defense. Like this Pacers defense is horrendous. And it felt like, I said this in the pod last night, it felt like they gave them an out by going to so many attacking mismatches. And I get you want to do that against bad defenders, but this Pacers team is so unbelievably bad at rotating that if you just swing the ball 2 times, they're going to send 2 to the ball and you're going to have a free shot. So I think they can do that a little bit better. But regardless, addressing this, Tillman was out yesterday because his father passed away. So I don't know if he'll be back for the series. So they don't have that option right now. But
people
anyway.
are saying O'Shea. Some people are saying put him in there for small ball 5, and it's not me. I've seen it.
No,
Where,
absolutely
Sam,
not.
I asked Jack this before the game the other day. Where are you on the prospect of playing Tatum at the 5 for any minutes in a game, especially while Tillman's out?
I'm fine with that.
I
Especially
like that.
late in a game like yesterday, right? You're watching the entire. We'll put the number at 45 minutes. The defense clearly has not been great with Horford on the floor, at least as great as it could have been. We just did a little round on that. The offense with Horford was up and down. What was he? 3 of 12 from 3 yesterday? Tatum was 2 of 8, so take it with a grain of salt. But he's not going to be the guy getting open catch and shoots on the perimeter. If you elect to move away from Horford in that situation, you may have a better chance of creating those extra swing possessions that you're talking about, Jack, because they can't really send help defenders off of Horford. They're going to have to pick somebody else, whoever you decide to bring off the bench. Maybe Peyton Pritchard, who still wasn't fantastic yesterday, which maybe is another reason why they didn't do it. But overall, it's going to give you so much more flexibility on the offensive end, and you're not going to have defenses daring you to give the ball to Horford like you've seen in the last series and now game 1 in this series.
I think the O'Shea thing, I mean, you said it. Horford got 12 threes. If they leave Horford open from 3, they're going to leave O'Shea open from 3. And cannot happen. It cannot happen.
I don't know if O'Shea is good enough at cutting for it to work either.
Well,
because
it's not the cutting, Sam. It's the finishing.
Yeah. Well, no, if he was great at cutting, he would just have dunked.
He's good at cutting. Not great. He's good at cutting. It's when he gets to the rim.
Because
I would like
cross your fingers.
I would like Tatum at the center with Hauser out there. I think that's fine, or Pritchard out there, like something like that. I think that's fine because you can trust those guys to make shots if they're open enough to leave them open. And I don't think Indy would just leave them open. But
Hauser was brutal yesterday.
He was, but he's a shooter for a reason. You can trust him to make open shots if he gets them. So.
Kai Tyson, the 3 that you referenced earlier, Sam, on one hand, it's like, who are you, Sam Hauser, coming off the bench to kind of force the issue and take that shot? On another, overall, I love the attitude and the approach of him being aggressive in that situation. It was way off the mark, so it's process versus results here.
He got it way off from Mike Breen.
I do want him. I'd rather him have that mindset of like, okay, I'm taking this shot and that type of aggression compared to him being passive and someone who almost doesn't want to see the ball come his way.
No, I don't have a problem with him having the confidence to take the shot. He's somebody that's proven all season that he can get shots like that. The problem was that possession didn't start until there was like 8 seconds on the shot clock. It was just a whole lot of hanging out. Horford gets the ball in the corner with like 5 seconds, and that was all they had an option to do. And I think he was kind of tense because he was like, oh my gosh, I have to shoot this. And it obviously didn't look great. But overall, like, I just thought the possession was bad. I didn't think Hauser's decision there was bad. And I think he should be somebody that gets trusted to take threes. That's his job.
Yeah. They got the win. I guess that's all that matters in the end, but it was a frustrating pathway to get there. Do you guys, Bobby, anything else, or do you want to do trivia?
No, we're good. We hit on the offense being too stagnant as well. And just like Sam was saying there, the pace when they went slow, it often was not to the Celtics' benefit, at least offensively in that possession. Maybe it had some long-term benefits over the course of the game and just varying the tempo. But again, when you're going slow, you're giving yourself less of the shot clock to work with. And then a lot of the players on the floor are just standing around for you. It's really difficult to get good looks. And you can see it zaps the energy from the Celtics. And I think it impacted them defensively as well. So I get that it's exhausting to remain active, but I think the Celtics, there just needs to be more movement offensively for them to generate better looks, even against what can be a porous defense from Indiana.
They also did a putrid job of closing quarters. Awful.
Yeah. Very bad. Anyways, trivia time?
Trivia time.
Trivia time. All right, close the chats. Everyone close the chats. And let's get into it. Easy, simple trivia today. All right? Easy peasy. I want to know, since 2014, because we're going to keep it modern and keep it relevant. the best field goal percentage by a Celtic in a single playoff run. That's it. That's all I want. I'm going to read you exactly what I put into StatHead. Descending by field goal percentage to the best field goal percentage since the 2013-14 season, so the 14 playoffs. It is the playoffs, and then by a Celtics player. That is it.
So there's no minimum attempts?
Nope. No. It's just the best field goal percentage by a Celtic in a single playoff run. That is all.
Rob.
I hate when it does this shit. All right. Bobby?
I'm here. Stop, man. I want to win, Jack.
I know. You
It's
need a
just-
winner
it's been a
to
while.
win the series.
It's been a while.
You're down 3-0.
I'll try Tatum. The volume is so high, but
Sam?
It's a tough one. I think we'll do Amir Johnson. I'm so happy they won this game. Just because it was like such a they should have lost this game. It's found money, and we never get to enjoy found money ever. Also, this is just another day where we match Jack.
that's very true.
Kind of.
The takes would have been quite insufferable if they had lost. Especially like Tatum would have got roasted for crunch time, while completely disregarding everything he did before that. And if they lost, everyone who thinks that, they're kind of fraudulent, which is ridiculous, but everyone who thinks that would get very loud.
Is the music playing for you guys?
I had it on. I think you turned it off.
No, it's on. I can't hear it, though.
Well, I have my own music on. Actually, I just heard it. I heard it.
I can't hear it. That's so weird.
Let's see. Yeah, I hear the music.
That sucks.
I will go Al Horford.
I'm gonna go Luke.
Oh. That's a good
Hold
guess.
on, I'm still adding his.
Knockout blow.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Up to Sam whether Jack can answer the question. Are there any other 1000s?
There definitely are. I can answer it.
There are. Luke Cornett shot 1 of 1 in the 2021 playoffs.
Goat.
Legend.
He played less than 6 minutes and he made 1 shot.
The
against the
man.
Nets. You guys have chats off, right?
Chat's off.
Good guesses, Jamie. Great guesses. I'm exhausted, man. Oh my god.
I'm in big swing territory, so why
Please.
not? Let's take a chance. Aaron Nesmith.
It's a good guess.
I hope so. This is a volatile guess. Oh no, Jack! Don't say that.
Oh, that's brutal.
Don't grunt.
I'm sorry. I had to do it.
The Shawn Michaels, where he says to Ric Flair, "I'm sorry, I love you."
I'm
Right
sorry,
before
I
he kicks
love
him.
you. Oh man. How about that Horford dunk attempt over? I think it was Nemhard yesterday. When's the last time you've seen Horford try and dunk on somebody?
He's been playing angry the last few games.
I love it.
I love when he bullied Jalen Smith in the post, and then they took him out of the game. That was great. Good guess, Jamie. Jamie, you would be winning the game, Jamie. Good job. W.
I'm gonna guess Baines. Oof.
Okay, I might be too late, but I'm going to be the first to call upon the chat, hoping that no one has guessed since Jamie, or that someone has since also put forth an excellent.
So you
point.
want the latest chat message?
Well, because I'm not allowed to just say Jamie, right?
Correct. It has to correct. I think it has to be the latest chat message. That is.
I'm pretty sure it's the latest. So
Okay,
hopefully,
so you would like the latest one?
It's probably too late, but at this point, I figured it's worth it anyways.
Well, Ashton said screw Bobby and said Chevy
All good,
Ochoa.
Ashton.
Oh no.
I had already
Let's
lost,
see.
Ashton, so no worries.
Sam, would you like to use the chat as well, out of a sign of respect?
No, but I have a guess that I want to pull out of like my back pocket.
Sure.
He's going far.
Malik Fitz.
I considered him and Juwan Morgan. Oh, that stings.
Bob, would you like another chat message?
No, because now I'm gonna go with one of these guys as well from the 2022 end of bench
Use
squad.
the chat message. Use the chat again.
Fine, I'll use the chat again.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
No, I'll use the chat again.
Well, this is why.
Bachelor's, I'm throwing the lob, Joey.
I'll give you.
I
I'll
did
give
think
you
of
Joey's
that.
badge.
There we go, Joey. Good looks.
Good job. Also, the answers: Jamie D, both 1,000. Springer Tillman haven't missed. 100%.
Springer, I have no memory of his one basket or two baskets, whatever
Yeah,
it
I
is.
don't remember Springer. Tillman,
He's
I
2 for
probably
2.
should have guessed.
Jordan Walsh also 1,000.
A lot of Walsh.
Carson Edwards 667 up there. Jabari Parker, great as well. Tice Thompson, all good answers. All the big guys.
I considered Tice throughout, but I was worried because he'll also move beyond the arc.
Yep. Thompson,
Well, I
I did
mean-
think of.
Fair enough. All righty. Let's do Daily Dublin. Let me get on out of here.
We lost the dozen screen. I don't know if you did that on purpose. Or
Oh,
not.
what the hell? Oops. Here we go. All right.
All right.
NFL. After 9 seasons in Tampa Bay, Warren Sapp played the final 4 seasons of his career with his AFC franchise from 04 to 07.
The Raiders.
Sure.
Yep.
Never would have gotten it. Nicknamed Born Ready, this Pacers player famously blew in LeBron's ear during the 2014
Lance.
Eastern Conference Finals.
I had no idea that was his nickname, though.
I didn't either. Dinger, the Triceratops, is the mascot for what National League
Rockies.
West Division franchise?
That was impressive, Sam. I'm going to credit MLB The Show for that.
Recognized as one of the pioneers of personal computer revolution, this man co-founded Apple alongside Steve Jobs and Ronald Wayne.
That one I don't know.
I feel
I'm
like
sure
I
the
know
chat will know this one.
Steve. Whoa.
Yeah, that's who I think it is. Wozniacki.
Yeah.
We can wait on the chat. Jamie D says Woz
No,
as
I
well.
think it's Steve Wozniak. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
We're cooked.
I don't know if it is, but it looks like Bob Odenkirk, the guy from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul,
Sure.
the lawyer.
I'm down. Who's the woman? I thought it was Anne Hathaway for a second, but it's not.
This is a mess.
We come back to it. We'll come back to it. Now discounted, the loaded grillers were a popular snack option introduced by what fast food chain in 2012? Now discontinued. Loaded grillers.
I have no idea.
This is ringing a bell.
Is it Burger King?
My first instinct is Taco Bell. Don't guess it yet.
We'll come back to it. Fran Drescher played a fashionista who took a job looking after the British the nanny. J-Lo, Constance Wu, and Cardi B played New York City strippers who steal money from stockbrokers and CEOs in this 2019 crime dramedy film. No idea. Nothing. Last one. Since 2020, this country singer has had 3 top 10 hits, including his cover of Fast Car and his original
Luke.
Send You Away.
Luke Combs.
The kind of love we make. Luke Combs. The new Oceans
movie?
Is it
No,
Ocean's
I don't
8?
think that's what it is.
They did
I
have
think
the
it's
one
its own, I think
with
this is its own thing. I don't think it's an Ocean's movie.
Hustlers. Chapter.
Wow. Yeah, that's what it is. Choppa, respect.
Good job, Chapel. All right. Now
Taco
we got
Bell
this
says Joey.
Let's go Taco
Okay.
Bell.
Taco King himself. Beauty.
Nailed it.
Now we need this. So we think Odenkirk. I
No,
have no
don't
idea
guess.
who
I don't think the hair is Odenkirk. We can pull off that.
Somebody said Tarantino. I don't know.
Someone said
I have
Nick
no idea.
Cage.
No,
The
his
head tail
hairline's
kind
not
of
that
gives me
bad.
Nick Cage, but yeah, I don't think he has that big of a forehead.
I have no idea. It looks
I wonder if there's like
Tarantino.
Tarantino
see
makes sense. I feel like that's like that type of suit is something he would wear.
I could see
I'm
it
down
being
with Quentin
Tarantino.
Tarantino. I don't know who the woman is. No idea.
No idea.
I don't got it.
Somebody name somebody you think it could be, and we'll put it in. Because I have nothing. Jane Lynch. I don't think it's Jane Lynch.
No, I don't think it's her.
That seems like a good guess, though.
I mean, we can put in Jane Lynch to see if Tarantino's right. Yeah. Tarantino's
Okay,
right,
Tarantino.
but
No, I don't think it's
no
Hathaway.
idea who that is.
I don't think it's.
I don't think it is either. That's all I had.
Taylor Swift. It's not Taylor Swift. It's gonna be one of those like singers that we just don't know what they look like.
Lana Del Rey.
Like maybe you like know the name, but
That'd be such trash.
never seen their face.
Cher Lloyd.
Who
I
the
don't know what
hell is
Cher
that?
Lloyd looks like. I don't know, but should we click it? I just typed in letters.
Sure.
Yeah, shocker. I don't know. I mean, I had no idea who it was.
27.
It was Amelia Clark. Oh my God! Yes, I know who that is now.
Game of
What is
Thrones.
she?
Yeah, now I can see it. Obviously.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You said Game of Thrones?
Yeah. Game of Thrones.
I see it.
Yeah. Shoot. She was in a TikTok movie that I've seen a lot too. Yeah. Leave me alone. Anyways, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Bobby, any final thoughts?
No, just get ready to go for game 2, and then we've got the roundtable tonight as well.
We should start playing
You're
some
in,
other
Bobby?
games too.
Hell yeah. Should start doing what?
Playing other games too.
Yeah, I'm 100% in.
I like playing. You ever played Wordle?
I think
Wordle?
I played it
No.
with my
Wordle.
friend in Miami one time.
It is like or global is what I like better. Not Wordle. It's like global. Yeah, it's this.
Is it GeoGuessr? Is that what it is? Like the same thing?
Kind of, not really. So it just you have to guess. So you start with a country, and I'll start with like
something else.
Brazil, right? And so the redder this is, the closer you are to the country. So like we're far away. So if I go France, close. You see? So it's probably in Europe. So I go like maybe Poland. Is it on that side? Real close. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Russia?
Real close. Maybe like Kazakhstan. I don't know,
And it's only countries.
yeah.
Jack, you know your geography.
I do. I play a lot of
Like
GeoGuessr.
Sweden?
No, because that's yeah.
No, it's like that Nordic area. So it's
Yeah, I think I'll be over here.
no, because whatever
Yeah, those are
Poland
red.
seems like it's more red than I don't know.
So then let's guess something in between. Belarus, Finland.
Is it UAE? Or Saudi Arabia? I don't know.
How close is India? Far. I feel like is it like Mongolia? No, we're getting far. It's down here. Is it Ukraine? No. It's gonna be it here. Or here. Is it like Yemen? Oman? Turkey? It's Turkey!
Wow.
See?
That was impressive.
I love global. That was I love this. Big fan.
You narrowed it
Anyway.
down very quickly.
GeoGuessr is great. We should play GeoGuessr on stream. Bobby, have you ever played GeoGuessr?
I've not, but I'm down to play.
Really? Sam, you played it?
Yes.
All right, we'll save it for another time. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like. Subscribe to How About Them Celtics for some How About Them countries and geography. And I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. The YouTube channel is just How About Them Celtics on YouTube. If you subscribe, you're going to get all of our daily uploads coming at you with something new every day at 5 a.m. Pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. We have a new one up today. No, game recaps up today. Those come the morning after each game. Pod tomorrow. I'm in shambles. And we have other videos in between. Streams. Talkin' C's Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings. We have Celtics the Roundtable coming at you tonight around 6, 5:30, probably earlier because I know Cam's got a 6:30 out. And then pregame streams here. It'll come. It's busy time.
We're busy, man. I'm sorry.
Make sure you give Bobby a follow at
Let's
Bobby
go,
Kravitsky
Lucas. Hell yeah,
Lucas.
let's go.
on Twitter. Check out his work for Inside the Celtics, part of SI Media. You guys can find us on Spotify and Apple too. If you follow us there, you're going to get the pods and game recaps right into your feed. leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate it very much. We can also be reached via email, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Jack and I are recording sometime this afternoon, so make sure you get those thoughts in. I'm sure you got something to say. You can find us on socials at How About Them Disease, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's just the name of the pod. You can find our stream there and on YouTube and on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jack's1NBA. Bobby's is at Bobby Kravitsky. Mine is at Sam LaFrance. That's it for us. Bye.